Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back. We have another guest, Miss Hoffins. Hi, Miss Hoffins. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to have our story problem today, and it's an exciting day, too, because today is the first day of something. Does anyone know what it's the first day of? First day of. We have 4 of them in the year. I'm going to give you some think time. Miss Kim, do you know what it is?
Spring!
Yes, it's the first day of spring, so it's a whole new season. That's why we've had a lot of rain. That means that flowers are growing, and that's exactly what our story problem is about today. So I'm going to read the story problem, and while I read, I would love it if you can make a movie in your head. It's really a great idea to close your eyes because then you can picture the movie and visualize it. That's how I like to make a movie in my head. So I'm going to read the story problem. Get your movie ready. Okay. It's springtime. Flowers bloomed in the community garden. More flowers bloomed in the circle garden. How many flowers bloomed at 24th Street all together? Okay. So I want us to think about what is happening in this story. What is going on in this story? I'm going to give us some think time. What was happening in this story? Right, when you have an idea, put a thumb up on your chest so that I know you're ready to share. Miss T, what is going on in the story today?
Some flowers are blooming in different gardens at 24th Street. So some in the garden and then some in the circle garden.
Correct. So flowers are blooming, and blooming is another word for growing. So there are some flowers that are blooming in the community garden, and there are some flowers that are blooming in the circle garden. We don't know how many flowers yet, but we're going to choose right now what our number set is going to be. So that was our first read. Now our second read is going to be with our new numbers, with our number set. So let me show us what the number is. Okay, let's take a minute to just look at the number sets we have. We have the number sets 25 and 18, 36 and 28, 44 and 27, and 59 and 38. So I'm going to call on a volunteer to pick a number set we're going to be using today. Right. Would anyone like to pick the number that we're going to be using as a group?
How about 36 and 28?
36 and 28. All right. So now let's plug it in. The first number goes in the first blank, so 36, and then 28. Is there a volunteer who would like to read the story problem with the numbers included? Do we have a volunteer? Miss Kim, why don't you read the story problem?
Okay. It's springtime! 36 flowers bloomed in the community garden. 28 more flowers bloomed in the circle garden. How many flowers bloomed at 24th Street all together?
Beautiful. All right, so what do these numbers mean? So we really want to make sure that we're thinking about the numbers and what they refer to. So 36, I know I see 36 and 28, but what do they represent? So let's take a minute to think about what do these numbers mean in our story today. When you have an idea, put a thumb up so that I can see that you are ready. Miss Hoffins, what does the number 36 refer to in this problem?
36 is how many flowers there are in the community garden, the flowers that are blooming there.
And what about 28? Miss Valencia, what does 28 represent?
28 is the number of flowers blooming in the circle garden.
Great. So now we need to figure out what we're trying to solve. So that was our second read. We figured out what the numbers represent. So now our third read, what are we trying to solve? So do I have a volunteer? Would we like to read the story together? Let's read it together, actually. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
It's
It's
spring.
springtime.
Fine.
36 flowers bloomed in the community garden. 28 more flowers bloomed in the circle garden. How many flowers bloomed at 24th Street all together? So what are we trying to figure out, Miss T?
We're trying to find out how many flowers that bloomed all together.
Beautiful. So how many flowers bloomed all together? Oops. All right. So I'm going to give us a minute to think of a strategy of what we can use to solve this problem. So we have 36 flowers in the community garden and 28 more flowers bloomed in the circle garden, but how many flowers bloomed at 24th Street all together? So take a minute on your paper to create a strategy to solve this problem. Remember, there are a few strategies we have: counting on, maybe a number line, using our tens and ones, maybe using standard algorithm. So what strategy are you going to use today? Thumb up when you're ready. And boys and girls at home right now, you can do a strategy along with us. You can pause the video if you need more time and then play it back when you're ready to see our ideas. Beautiful. All right. So Miss Kim, do you have a strategy that you would like to share with us?
Yes. So this is something that in our second grade class we've been working on. And so what I did was I first set up the equation horizontally. So I did 36 plus 28.
Okay. So 36 plus 28. And can I ask, why did you use addition in this problem?
Because they're asking how many altogether. And so just like the story problem yesterday, they talked about how 36 flowers were bloomed first and then 28 more flowers. So I looked at the keyword more, which more is represent addition because you're adding more.
Okay. All right. So can you tell us what you did next? So you had 36 plus 28 equals.
So then I decided to decompose and break 28 into 4 and 24. And the reason why I did 4, because I was thinking, how can I make 36 to the nearest tens? That would be easier for me to add. So I knew that 36 and 4 makes 40, because I know that 6 and 4 makes 10.
Okay, so you dropped down 36, you didn't decompose that number.
No.
And then you added 36 and 4 makes 40. And then leftover you had?
Add 24. And I knew that this would be easy for me to do in my head because I know that 4 tens and 2 tens make 6 tens, and then there's 4 ones, so total of 64. And I wrote my number sentence.
Oh, so you use the number sentence. 40 plus 24 equals 64. And then you also added a sentence on the bottom. Can you read that sentence to us?
I said there are 64 flowers altogether.
Beautiful. All right, so this is Miss Kim's strategy. Does anyone have a different strategy or a new strategy that we can share? Maybe one more strategy? Miss Valencia, what strategy?
I used a number line. Can you see?
Yes.
So I started with the 36, and I knew that I'm counting on, but I used the number line to help me count on. And so I know that 28 is 2 10s and 8 1s. So I made 10s jumps for my 2 10s,
Tens jumps.
and then 8 little ones jumps.
Ooh, okay. So you made a tens jump here, and I'm going to put 10 up here so that we know how many jumps Miss Valencia made. So 36 plus 10, and it got her to 46, and then another tens jump, Miss Valencia?
Yes, because there were 2 10s.
And there's 2 tens. Oh, right, because 28 has 2 tens, and then 56. That got you to 56. And then you did 8 more baby jumps. One jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just made it. And
that's always the tricky part, though, with the ones jumps, to make sure they fit in and they line up, so you end up with the right number.
So 64 was our last number. So we had 1, 1. And what number sentence can we create with this? Just seeing what we have here.
I just wrote the same one, but I could have put 36 plus 10 plus 10 plus 8 plus 1 plus 1 8 times.
Right. Yeah, we could extend it a little bit to see those 10s and 1s. So 36 plus 10 plus 10, and then plus the 8 1s.
Yeah.
Right? What a great strategy. That's something new too, because in my classroom, we haven't really done a lot of 10s jumps. We do the 1s jumps right now. So that's a new strategy that we can be using in first grade, a strategy we can see that can help us. Beautiful.
I noticed that that's another way to break apart, to decompose 28. So we've decomposed 28 2 different ways today.
Oh.
So I know I'm doing this and it's taken a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. 7 and 8. Let's see if I did it right. 36 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, beautiful. And that equals 64. So using the sentence we have here, can I have Miss T read how many flowers do we have at 24th Street altogether?
64 flowers bloomed at 24th Street altogether.
Beautiful. So remember, bloomed is another word for grew. So 64 flowers bloomed, grew at 24th Street. Boys and girls, this was one number set that we did together, but you can do the other number sets. We still have 3 more that you can challenge yourself with. And there are so many different strategies that you can use at home. Maybe coming up with a new strategy that you can bring back to the classroom and teach us all. Remember, this is your time to shine and practice your math. And we're excited to be teaching you outside of the classroom. Have a great day, and we'll see you in a little bit. Bye.